Welcome back to our channel. Now, we are now going to go to the next level where I'll talk about several components. I think up to there we're okay. I'll push this up a bit. I'll push this because I want kind of to highlight several things as we move on. Now, we talked about networks, we talked about protocols and the likes. So I want to kind of now throw spanner to the works and maybe give you an idea on how several things are usually created, how we're going to work with all these components and the likes. So I'll still put these network devices to the side. Let's talk about generally how to use some of these components. Like for example, we have a server over here. We have, let's say, we have, trying to think on how we're going to do this. LVLAN packet tracer. So, yeah, let's just basically deal with this. I'll talk about also thing that later on. First of all is I would want to kind of highlight something over here. Remember, so that we can remember what we were dealing with here to avoid what you call IP collision or utilizing someone else's IP or another device's IP. I would want to label this. Remember how we're able to now label this? We'll just come over here and this IP was 0.0.1 and this PC's IP was 10.0.0.2 so that we can actually remember and prevent any utilization of IPs that we have already used, so that to avoid collision or utilization of other people's IP. So basically now the next thing is I want you to understand the basics of how we're going to work with hardware. Let's say a good example is we have this and we want to connect Wi-Fi. So you notice that here we are limited. The original size zone, you notice this is how it looks. Let's just come over here. We are limited where we only have one slot that we can utilize for us to upgrade this. We cannot upgrade anything else. So as I said, if you wanted to change these components, you need to turn off your device. So in our case, I want to put wireless. I'll come, remove that. You notice there's a hole over there. Come, place this. And before I place it, let's just turn off. There's something I want us to test before I place that. Come to desktop, wireless. This device does not have any interface. There's a reason being that we don't have a specific hardware for that. So now I want to put on or put that specific hardware that I want to utilize. How do I do that? I'll come, select the wireless device I want, come, put it over there, turn on the device, then we go to desktop. Under the desktop, these are all the programs that are within that computer. You can also install Bluetooth and all these other components. Dialers, browsers, communication, all this. So in our case now I want to click on this. Voila, we have our wireless hardware installed. So in our case, we do not have any Wi-Fi. So let's hypothetically sit down and figure out which wireless devices do we want to add. Also, it's here. So you'll come over here to wireless devices, and maybe let's just use a very basic wireless device that home router. Good. Follow this with the laptop. See, it's a bit slow. So it's actually on. And you notice something has happened over here in the background. So over here I'll come, maybe I'm not going to do a complex setup. I'll just set up the wireless, auto, good. It's disabled. Okay. But you notice already that we have that. I want to change the name so that we're able to see, because you notice that it connected automatically. So we are going to come, I'll call it EIT. It's enabled. EIT. Good. Save setting. And you notice it will disconnect. And there we go. It now reconnects again. If you wanted to, let's say for example, to enhance its security, we can actually put WPA2 as an all, and we can put the password here, which is password, same as this WPA2 password. And you'll notice at the background that this will no longer be connecting to each other. Good. So let's go back to this. Select wireless. This is just the normal stuff that we usually get ourselves into, and we can refresh as we wait for the signal to come. There we go. EIT default. I never changed the 5 gigahertz. I only changed the 2.5, and you can see they're all available. So it was to say connect. I'll be asked for a key, password, and there we go. We are now connected. So basically, you are able to play around with wireless networks like that. And the reason why I'm showing you that is because I wanted to highlight the fact that one, each device has different components, as you can see. Let's go to maybe a router. You'll notice that this is how a router looks. They're what you call these black areas where you can upgrade or add more hardware, as you can see over here. We'll be talking about all these components as we continue and how we can actually integrate them. So you'll find that each and every device has a component that we can actually add. We can turn it off, we can turn it on, and you'll notice that it's real time. I turned it on just a few minutes ago, and you'll notice it's actually loading the iOS software on it. So these are just generally some things I wanted to highlight as we continue. So you can either use wired network, wireless network. So in the next lesson now, we're going to go further and now talk about the different types of, let's say for example, we'll be talking about just basically how to set up a basic network. And with this basic network, we'll now talk about the different hardwares or the different components when it comes to network components, and we'll move on from there. So in case of anything, you can like, subscribe, and let's see each other in the next video. Bye now.